Hi Aquarius, Jackie here. I'm going to be giving you guys a bonus read. I'm about 3/4 of the way through these readings, and when I first started them I wasn't sure why I was doing them, but then as the readings progressed I realized that I was doing them because of this Jupiter retrograde. I just feel like everybody really needed some extra messages during this time. I'm going to be pulling a Wisdom of the Oracle for you guys as your crowning energy, and I'm going to be using the Steampunk Tarot, the regular for the pulls, and if I need to qualify I'll use the Rider-Waite. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're holding up with all of these crazy energies going on. So you guys do have Jupiter retrograde in your 11th house of friendships. Okay, so anything any area that would hit. That could also go with our siblings, our colleagues, people who we consider friend and how we do friendships. And this is basically what the Jupiter retrograde is actively working on right now for us. Okay, let's pull these cards and get right into it. Tower. Don't be scared. It's okay. I don't mind the Tower. Don't mind the Tower. Wisdom comes from the Tower. Lessons. Disassembling of something that wasn't working for us anyway. So let's get right into it. Let's start with this crowning energy, which is clean it up. Get this moose here with the little broom looking up to clean it up. Yeah, card 21. Okay, look, this is about getting to the core of a situation or becoming free from the burden of something that you no longer need. So this is telling me that in some way, many of you have been feeling very bogged down with emotional stuff that can actually be getting in the way of you thinking straight. So this is a time for you to energetically clean house, and that could mean physically getting rid of clutter, paying unpaid bills that might be adding up that you've been ignoring, or this can even be unresolved resentment or even comparison to others that lead to you feeling some sense of lack in some way. It's anything that would be emotionally clogging you up in any area. You need to really make room for yourself within yourself right now. So for those of you who are in a relationship, it's time to clear the air. Really look at things and say what's on your mind. Talk about anything that's been bothering you, so you don't keep carrying it around with you like a piece of unwanted luggage. I'm not getting like well, for some of you it might be a big deal, right? Because we do have the Tower. I'm getting that some of you, there are issues that are really bothering you and you need to unload those. This can also indicate that some of you may be focusing too much on other people right now, though, trying too hard to be helpful. You just want to make sure that you're not trying to clean up someone else's mess and that you're not helping them. You're not helping them by trying to free them of their responsibility, Aquarius, like you're not doing them any favors. You just might be adding a greater strain onto things by enabling someone to either continue with bad behavior or by you just trying to go in and fix things for somebody, Because I'm getting that you're loved as you are, or you should be getting loved as you are. Like, you don't need to be needed to be loved, in other words. But for some reason, I'm getting that some of you need to hear that. But for all of you, getting like the simple things done, just like opening your mail and paying bills and getting organized, is what this means, in the most basic sense. For those of you, with work, this is just indicating maybe you've been working too much. You need to take some time for yourself. So, this tells me that in some way, in some area of your life, you've been feeling very overburdened and overwhelmed. So right now, it's totally fine to just say no to a couple of things, All right, so let's get into this Tower. The Tower. This stupid card, right? This is the card, like, if it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger kind of thing. This means an unexpected event is going to happen, or has happened. That's going to change things significantly in your life. But don't be scared, Aquarius, because Look, even though no one really wants to ever see the Tower in their reading, but at the end of the day, this does indicate some sort of destruction of something, but it's something that we've created and nurtured over time. And it's something that we love, that's very intrinsic to our worldview and how we experience our world. But the thing is here, that this situation grew to become less in alignment with who you are. And it just started to become way too complicated, where artifice became more important than substance, you know? Like the situation, the purpose for this situation became lost. It just started not working in your life. You know, a lot of times we stay in things past the expiration date out of habit, out of fear, out of some kind of love for the situation, you know, but ultimately not for the right reasons, you know. So this destruction comes even though you don't initially desire it. You do understand, or should understand, because I feel like you've been alive long enough to know that things like this happen in our lives. Because the main thing with the Tower card is that the destruction part, the part that people hyper-focus on, you know, that's only half of it. The other half of the Tower are the lessons that you take away as a result of this change. Because, guys, change happens in our lives. You know, life is change, if we're honest. All of life is always changing. So there's real wisdom in the Tower. There really is. Like these structures and situations that we built in our lives. It could be relationships. It could be having to do with a job. You know, it could be a number of things. But we initially started them to enhance our lives in some way, right? I think we can all agree on that we enter into situations always with the best intentions, right? To give us security or to somehow help us to progress forward in a healthy way in our life, right? But sometimes that structure or situation takes over our spirit and it's no longer a beneficial thing in our life. So this thing that we created to enhance our life ends up ultimately, I know this sounds very dramatic, but destroying it, or at least destroying a part of it or a part of ourselves. So the natural reaction of the universe then is to destroy that structure in order to help you and save you. So the energy surrounding this time with any kind of Tower moment is always a rough one. But the real work begins after the situation happens, when we have a chance to actually stand back and look at what was actually destroyed and work on letting go of that. But more importantly, we need to recognize what remains standing in all of that, you know? And this really is the ultimate repurposing card, you know, of the universe. So really, even though it's painful when you first go through it, lessons are learned, and a situation that was ultimately not for your higher good is being taken away. So you need to look at it like that. This is really not a bad thing. It hurts, but change almost always hurts. A lot of times even good change hurts. So you do need to look at it like that. But so this situation happened, and I feel like we're going to need to think about that as we go through the rest of the cards. So here we have the Seven of Cups. Not a surprising card to get after the Tower. This shows reflection on all the complexities of having a lot of possibilities right in front of you to move forward in, which you're going to be feeling after a Tower, right? You're going to be needing to readjust your path in some way, right? So the thing to be careful about here, though, is make sure that you don't stand motionless and transfixed on all the possibilities and all the potentials that you can be moving forward into in your life. You know, like I say, analysis paralysis. You want to be careful of that. You don't want to remain stagnant, you know, because then you're not moving your life forward and you're not actually applying the lessons that you learned. So you want to recognize that you have so much in front of you and you have everything that you want and need, but you may be feeling scared right now, and even a little confused about where you should end up going, which makes sense, you know, because that's the deal with the Seven of Cups card, right? We realize that we have this utopia in our head. We understand what level of abundance we desire for ourselves. We understand that we have Christ consciousness or higher consciousness on our side. We know we have this innate wisdom, right, in the cup with the snake. But then we have this baby dragon and this wreath. And the wreath is normally in a cup with a skull on it, so you can't see it in this card. But anyway, those two cards are the ones where it's like, can I trust what I'm seeing and feeling in my mind's eye? Can I trust what's being presented to me right now after all the pain and bullshit I just went through in this past relationship? You know, if I got myself into that situation, how do I know I'm not going to do it again to myself? You know, so it's this questioning and this, you know, uncertainty. Yet you're not uncertain about what you see for yourself in your mind's eye, you know, but you're scared and you're not sure what to trust. So, you know, understand though, give yourself a break. That's really normal if you feel like that after a Tower moment, okay? And then we have the Seven of Wands energy. Yeah, so look, continuing with the Seven of Cups energy, I'm getting that you're doubting your purpose and your direction right now, and you're just not clear on where you're going and if it's all going to even be worthwhile, you know? So as a result, you're feeling very anxious and hesitant, and I'm getting that many of you feel overwhelmed with this some sort of continued problem. Oh my gosh, but yeah, going back to that clean it up, this is the stuff that you have to look at to clean out and clean up. So anyway, the message here is to focus on the areas in your life where you feel that you do have control, where you can make a difference, and really try to practice radical acceptance of things that you just can't change. You just can't change. And for those of you who are in relationships, this is also asking you to identify right now, in relationship in general, it doesn't even necessarily have to be with a person, actually. You need to really identify which imperfections in a person can you live with, that, you know, you could totally accept, because, you know, Aquarius, you know not everyone's perfect, obviously. So, but it's important to identify what imperfections you can deal with within a relationship, and which aspects for, you know, that your partner might have, your current partner might have, you know, maybe a certain attitude or circumstances that they're in, or maybe even somebody that you're thinking about being involved with. What things are non-negotiable and would need to change? Because I get that you're in a place where you're just sick and tired of the cycle. You're sick and tired of the hamster wheel. And you don't want to repeat any patterns anymore, either within a current relationship or going into a new relationship with something new. So it's very important for us. And, you know, sometimes when, you know, look, Aquarius, right, you're an air sign, and you're very smart. You're very honest. You know, you're the swords, right? The swords of words and the swords of truth. So you're really tired, though, of not being truthful with yourself about what you're willing to take and not take in a relationship, because you're realizing that ultimately whatever you tolerate that's not really aligning with you is going to ultimately be the downfall of the relationship at some point. So now you're trying to be wicked crystal clear on what you know works for you and what you know will not work for you. Life is going to, you know, can turn on a dime anyway, regardless. But if you're going into a new situation knowing straight out of the gate that something smells a little too familiar about it, maybe from a past cycle or a past something, you're not willing to take that chance right now. And that's completely understandable. You're really getting in touch with what matters to you and what, you know, and what you need. Very important to do that right now. And then we had the Queen of Swords reverse. So this is telling me excuses are being made for bad behavior or a situation that you are somehow unjustly attacked inside of. This can also indicate you or someone else. I'm getting it, it's somebody else though, because it's a queen. has become suddenly very bitter and very vengeful. So I don't know if that has something to do with the result of the Tower. This, you know, and the Tower could be an intimate relationship. It could also be a really bad falling out with a friend, a really bad falling out with a family member, but somebody's feeling very bitter and very vengeful. But yeah, I'm getting, though, that the reason this person is doing this is out of extreme stress. I'm not even getting that it's out of malice. Like, I just get that the person you're dealing with in your life, again, you know, gender doesn't matter, guys, right? You know that. Whoever this Queen of Swords reverse is, like, they don't understand how unreasonable they're being. And they don't even see the demands that they've been putting on you. And I feel like the best way to handle this energy is to just step away for a minute. Because I feel like even if you try to approach this person to be reasonable, they're not going to be very responsive. So I think you're best just like giving a little bit of space between you and this person. But yeah, this is somebody dumping their bullshit on you or projecting something on you or their frustrations or their stress, and, you know, you being the receptacle of receiving that. Yeah. Okay, moving on, we have the King of Pentacles. So I like this. You know, this tells me, Aquarius, that you're going to be meeting someone new. They're going to be coming into your life. I feel like you haven't met them yet. Who is generous and secure and protective and does not rest on his laurels alone. His or her, again, no gender here. But yeah, I'm getting you have not met them yet. I'm getting you haven't met. This is a person with a plan, willing to work hard, and, you know, one of those people where it's like their hard work pays off. You know, the kind of person I'm talking about, like, whatever they set their mind to, they do it, and it always ends up being really good for them. You know, very reliable and generous and offers practical support, and security is very important to this person, and they feel happiest when they're settled in a relationship, which is beautiful. I like this energy for you, Aquarius. Yeah, this person wants to be a protector, but at the same time, they have very firm boundaries, and they're not going to tolerate those looking to take, you know, what's theirs. So they're very protective of what they create. Even their relationships, and that almost sounds very controlling, but I'm not getting a controlling vibe at all. I'm getting a healthy vibe from this. Yeah, and as an influence, this energy also does predict that conflicts are going to be resolved. Okay, but I am getting a very, you know, this isn't going to obviously resonate with everyone because it's a general read. That's impossible. But for a significant amount of you, I feel like this is, I'm getting a very, very strong relationship vibe here. Yeah, because this person's like, this person wants to offer you security and loyalty. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Yeah, so I just feel like you guys have been through a lot and you're meeting somebody new, but I'm getting that you feel a little confused about. All right, let's say. So we have the Six of Swords reverse. So the theme of this energy is interesting. It's combining the present and the future, but the challenge here is integrating our experiences from the past into the present in order to be able to move forward, if that makes sense. So this does indicate at some point people are going to be apart. There's an energy here of separateness, a relationship ending or a revision of a relationship. So I'm most certainly getting that it has to do with this Tower. So this indicates transition right now. And as a reverse, it indicates a need to leave the situation. But you can't right now. Like, there's some sort of delay. It may not be the right time for you to leave a situation, since I'm feeling like there are still some things that you need to clean up. Keep going back to the clean up. But clean up and address and resolve before you can move forward with a clean slate. You do want to be sure to check your intentions here, Aquarius, and ask if your intentions are sound and if you're heading in the right direction. So But I do feel like you are with this new person. Just try to be mindful if you are maybe fixated on a certain specific outcome, which can prevent you from seeing other incredible opportunities and possibilities that are right in front of you. So this energy is asking you to be really realistic right now and try not to be too frustrated with not only yourself but the situation, because for many of you, I'm getting that after this Tower moment, you went through a period of confusion, but there are still things lingering around about that situation. I'm getting that many of you are meeting this new person and you're trying to, clear up your slate from this past situation so that you can move forward in a healthy way. But for those of you who had nothing to do with relationship, this can be a job. And I'm getting that this situation happened with a job that you were in where things ended, leaving you feeling quite confused, but you eventually find another job, but you're just not sure if that's the exact direction that you want to go in right now. Okay, and then moving on, we have the Strength energy. So this energy is indicating that it's time to look at your shadow self, Aquarius, and really look at all the parts of yourself that you don't like and you don't value and that you maybe feel ashamed of. And we all have them. We all do. So many studies have been done on this. Unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath, you do experience shame and this idea of having these things hiding in the deep, we all have it, in the deep recesses of ourselves, but this is the thing. This energy, and why I love this card, is because this energy is saying those parts of you are not bad. They're not. They're not. They're normal. They're not bad in and of themselves. They're just aspects of you that are there as the result of you having been wounded by some situation in your life. But the thing here is, if this is ignored and it's repressed, these feelings can grow to become sour and like almost infected, growing larger and showing up in our lives in inappropriate and even destructive ways. So in the long run, that never works. So really, this is asking for you right now to be super compassionate with yourself while you're really honest with yourself. And by doing this, it's going to make it easier for you to figure out what caused the damage in the first place, what caused your pain, what caused these scars, what caused these fears. And once you can figure out why you do what you do and why you feel the way you do, you can look at it, you can unpack it, and you can remove it. And through this cleaning out and this clearing, okay, going back to that oracle, you're going to feel so incredibly strong and in touch with your inner strength, the deepest inner strength inside of you. This has the infinity symbol on it, which is the symbol of the magician that represents a sense of connection with all aspects of self. And it's in this connecting with all aspects of ourselves that we find our greatest strength. So, Aquarius, find that connection and feel that strength. But just make sure you're being very kind to yourself as you do this. Yeah. And then we have the Five of Swords reversed. So, okay, this is telling me, Aquarius, that you're involved in some kind of unnecessary conflict, or that you consider unnecessary, that you somehow got caught in the middle of. But it's like another person's fight, but you're somehow getting sucked in to it through no fault of your own. Yeah, so I'm getting somebody's being really selfish here. And the person who initiates this, I feel like this is a person who's trying to cover up their own incompetence in a situation or a relationship or friendship. This drama, I feel like it's due to ego, making like a show of power kind of thing. But I don't know, Aquarius, I'm getting that this person is more of like a friend or a family member or maybe even a colleague. I'm not getting that this is someone who you're in an intimate relationship with. Maybe for some of you it is, but that's just not the energy that I'm getting. I'm not getting that in a very strong way. But this is a conflict that while it's outside your relationship, it's something that you definitely need to be mindful of, especially because we have that Jupiter retrograde in your 11th of friendships. This can tell me that maybe this is something that's really causing you to work on getting rid of very difficult personalities within your circle or circles. You know, it could be through work, it could be through, you know, we all have different groups of friends, different circles of friends. You got your friends you grew up with, you got your work friends, and you got the friends from, you know, your area, or friends through other friends, you know. So many of us have a number of circles, and I feel like you're just sitting down and doing a little clearing out of the more challenging energies that you're dealing with in your life. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. I feel like I don't really need to qualify anything here, Aquarius. I got to be honest with you. The Tower is going to be just so unique to each and every one of you. But besides that, I feel like the messages are very clear. Absolutely. So for this King of Pentacle energy, again, many of you are going to be meeting somebody new. For those of you who are not going to be meeting somebody new, this does indicate that any conflict that you're experiencing in your life is going to finally be leveling out and really going in an upward motion towards healing. So, you know, I like this reading for you, and I think this Tower is an extremely positive energy to be dealing with right now. Just hang in there. You know, it'll pass and you're going to come out so much stronger on the other side. Aquarius, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next week for the May reads. Bye-bye.